Hi guys, today I'm going to film for you the Great Expectations tag, which I really enjoyed. I watched Britpop Beauty, who actually created the tag, and then I watched Beauty Crush, Ms. Maria on Twitter, yesterday, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it because I'd already done a resolutions video and I wasn't going to film this, but I really liked the question, so I decided to go ahead. I know that filming in front of a window is not the ideal filming situation because obviously I'm going to be darker than normal. But I really wanted to use the snow as the backdrop, so focus or not, I'm uploading this because I so love this weather, and how often do I get to film with snow behind me. So, number one in this tag of 11 questions, beauty bad habit to get rid of. I actually don't have any terrible bad habits, but one thing that I do want to do this year is have a non-makeup day. Just one day where I don't wear makeup to give my skin a break. Mondays would be ideal, but obviously I film on those days, so I think what I'm going to do is film in the morning, take off my makeup, kind of do a mask or whatever, just give my skin a little bit of a breather. That's my plan. That's my one kind of bad habit, is wearing makeup every single day. Number two, beauty secret to add this year. There are a couple of questions in this tag that the questions are kind of worded strange. Like beauty secret, I would imagine that was something that I would be telling you as a secret, but I think the actual question means something that I'm going to add in to my beauty routine this year. So those two things, there are two, those two things would be eye cream, which I don't do on a regular basis, and I have my eye on the Origins ginseng one, which is quite expensive, but I really want to try it, and I'm about to turn 27. Really, I should be looking at something that's kind of anti-aging and willing to spend a little bit more money on my skincare. And regular trims of my hair, because obviously I'm trying to grow it out a little bit. I don't want it to be super long, but I'm trying to grow it out of this kind of bob. I've got it kind of textured today in that it looks a bit like bed hair. But yeah, I like the length that it is right now, but I want to grow it out and kind of get it trimmed and it just be healthy. And another thing is that I don't want to get my roots done as often because I don't want, because it's highlights that I have, the highlights obviously go all the way down my hair. So there are parts of my hair that are constantly getting bleached for no reason. So the colour that I am right now, the roots aren't so bad. I'm going to go longer between touch-ups. They are my kind of beauty secrets to add this year. Number three, last year's beauty favourite. It's difficult to choose one thing that I would say was my absolute favourite thing, but I'm going to have to say it's the Revlon Colour Stay, because it's the one product that has really, it's the one product that I will not switch out now. For summer, maybe I'll try some other things. I really liked the BB creams and I'd love to try something that's a little bit lighter, but for work, I really want my face to be mattified. I don't want to be worrying about having to powder all the time, and with Colour Stay, yes, I go a little bit shiny, a little, kind of more of a glow throughout the day, but I don't powder at all. I don't even worry about it. I go to the gym and maybe I'll powder a little bit after that, but other than that, I don't even worry about my foundation, and that's a huge weight off my mind, because you don't want to be worrying what you look like when you're sat in an office full of people. So Colour Stay is definitely my beauty favourite for 2012, and it will continue to be this year. Number four, beauty or body goal for 2013. Last year, I had weight to lose, and my problem was, it's not a problem, it's just that the problem I had, I suppose it was a problem, was that it didn't matter what I did, things didn't seem to make a difference. Like I would start a diet and then I'd lose a little bit of weight, and you get kind of that momentum in the beginning and then nothing seemed to happen. And I think the reason for that is that for the first year after you've had a baby, your body is kind of readjusting, it's recovering, and it takes a year for your body to find its new natural weight. And so now he is one, I'm finding that my weight has pretty much gone back to what it was before. I have started Weight Watchers, which I'm following very loosely, because there's no point in following a diet and then stopping. So my main body goals this year, I suppose, would be to make small changes that I can actually sustain throughout my life. There's no point in doing kind of a crash diet now, losing a couple of stone or whatever I needed to lose, and then stopping McDonald's every day, gaining it again. So I'm going to just make small changes. I gave up full fat Coke last year, full sugar, whatever, last year. This year I've tried to give up Diet Coke, and I'm just drinking kind of like fizzy water or flavoured fizzy water, that kind of thing, and I'm going to the gym more. I'm not having as many takeaways, just little changes. So I am loosely following the Weight Watchers diet at the moment, and you can find that on my blog. I've been blogging about that over the last couple of weeks, and finding kind of healthier alternatives to the foods that I love that are a little bit too bad for me. But I'm not going to suddenly make any huge promise to myself which I'm going to break. Just small sustainable changes. Number 5, last year's biggest fashion mistake. Again, along the baby weight line, is I wore baggy clothes, I wore things that were unflattering, things that were trying to hide the extra weight that ended up making me look bigger when I should have been balancing out my new shape. I didn't know how to dress my new body. But because I'm bigger on top, I'm an apple shape, I'm bigger on top and I've got very slim legs, I was wearing kind of baggy tops and very, very skinny jeans, which just accentuates the issues that I have. When in actual fact I should have been wearing more kind of form-fitting tops and baggier bottom half. You know, baggier skirts or trousers or whatever to kind of balance it out a little bit. And the times that I did wear things like that, it really did make a difference and it was flattering. But I found I was very, what was I? I was very self-conscious in form-fitting things on my top half. So that was my main fashion faux pas, you would say, that I didn't dress for my new body shape and it wasn't flattering. Number 6 is this year's fashion trend or prediction. I'm not a fashion blogger, I don't really follow the trends, but from what I've seen, I'm going to say big prints are going to be back in, like prints everywhere, and metallics. I know that metallics have been in kind of accessories and things for a while, but I think we're going to see more metallic clothes, more like silvers and golds and stuff on the high street, like silver t-shirts and stuff like that. I think that's going to be big for 2013. This year's fashion must-have, again, this is a strangely worded question, but I think it means, from what other people have answered, I think it means like what, for me, will be my must-have. What will I be doing this year fashion-wise? And that will have to be kind of moving out of my comfort zone and wearing things I normally wouldn't wear. Like going through a store and choosing something I wouldn't normally pick up and trying it on, because you just don't know what it's going to look like. And I just want to try different things and see how they look on me, because you need to experiment or you'll never know. And I love my basics, but I want to kind of move away from them a little bit and find some things, even if it's just kind of a party dress that I wear, something that's a little bit different, because even the stuff that I wear on a night out is super, super basic and plain, because I just love that stuff and I know that it suits me, but I want to try some different things this year. Number 8, what was your, last year's happiest moment / biggest achievement? Because it was the first year of Milo's life, it's difficult for me to say anything other than that was what made me happier or my biggest achievement. But superficially, kind of blogging wise, I would say it was a huge moment for me when I moved from Blogger to WordPress and got my website, blog, looking how I wanted it to look. It looks amazing now, I'm so happy with it. I really put so much time and effort into it, and I really focused on that last year, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. It made me want to put effort and time into it. It made me want to blog more, and the feedback that I've got about the content, about the look of it, everything, I'm so, so happy with. And then I got my illustration done, everything. My blog makes me very, very happy, which may sound ridiculous because, you know, I have a family and children and a real life, but it really does make me happy. And the fact that potentially it's a sustainable income one day is even better, and again makes me want to put so much more time and effort into it. Number 9, last year's biggest challenge. Kind of on the same thread, going back to work after having a year off. I was really set on the fact that maybe, or on the thought that maybe my blog might earn me enough money to stay off work. Unfortunately, I'm not there, and I wasn't there when I wanted to be. And it was very difficult to kind of let go of the dream of being able to be a stay-at-home mum and having an income from my blog that was gonna allow me to do that, and it didn't. I had to go back to work, and it was very, very difficult. I really struggled with it, and it was a challenge, but when I did go back to work, it was fine. It was so much easier than I thought it was going to be. I'm so pleased that I did it, and I think that even if it does get to the point where I could quit work, I think I'll probably stay a little bit longer. I think ultimately my end game with work is to go down to 2 days a week. I work 4 now, go down to 2 days a week, so I've got more time to focus on my blogging and things like that, but I also have that little bit of extra something that's just mine, something that I'm out there on my own, away from my family, and that's me. I think that most parents that stay at home miss that, and you don't realise you've missed it until you go back. It's a very difficult thing to stay at home with children because you lose something of yourself staying at home all day with kids. And I'm not saying that it's not something that I wouldn't want to do or something that people shouldn't do or anything, nothing derogatory whatsoever about stay-at-home parents, because I would have loved to be one, and maybe one day I will be. But I think that you do lose something of yourself, and at least one day, if I am able to do that, I'll have blogging as well, and so I'll retain myself within that. But that was the biggest challenge, letting go of kind of the dream of staying home with Milo. Number 10, this year's key resolution: to find a work-life balance, because I do put a lot of time into my blog. I come home from work and I really want to limit the amount of time that I spend on the computer with my back to Lee and the kids, because I already have my Monday to do that, which is what I'm doing right now. I have weekends if necessary, but I really want to limit the time that I do that and keep the work-life balance. It's very difficult because now I work 4 days, but in all honesty, even when I didn't work, I still had that time in the evening where I couldn't pry myself away from the computer. So that's my plan anyway. Number 11, any motto or advice for the year? Yes, I actually really like this one. I've been looking for quotes, kind of print quotes to put on the wall because it's going to be our first anniversary at the end of this year, and I was looking for something because it's paper, the first anniversary. I thought it would be really nice to have a print to hang on the living room wall that would be what we had on our first anniversary, and we could keep it forever, and it's just a little symbolic whatever. So I really liked that idea. I was looking on Etsy because they have lots of them. And I found all these ones that were like eye charts. I really like those that, and they live happily ever after, and I love you more than chocolate cake, and all those ones, the kind of cutesy ones I really liked. And I was nearly dead set on one of them until I discovered one that had tons and tons of quotes, one particular store on Etsy that just had loads and loads of quotes. And one of them was, and it was grey, so it would match our living room. One of them was, when you feel like quitting, remember why you started. And that is a quote to live by anyway, but I think specifically, I mean for YouTube, yes. For anything that you start and you want to continue, it is a particularly great quote to live by, but especially for marriage, I think that you have kind of rough patches and you'll have times where you think, do you know what, I'm really annoyed with this or whatever, and it's not worth fighting over, and it's not worth getting annoyed. It's definitely not worth splitting up over, and I think it's just something that should be in the forefront of your mind all the time, no matter what you're doing, whether it be a relationship or something that you're trying to achieve. Why did you start this in the first place? You started this to finish it. Why do you want to quit now? Just remember what it was in the first place that drove you to want to pick this up. Don't put it down now just because things are getting hard. And I think that's a really good quote to live by. So that is going to be my motto for this year, and perhaps for my life. But that is the tag. I hope you enjoyed it. It is the second time I filmed it because the first time I was out of focus, but now I have this fantastic backdrop. Even if I'm out of focus, it's going up, so apologies if this is terrible. But I really love the snow, and I hope you do too. Check out my other links below, and if you haven't already, please go and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!